Okay, in our previous demonstrations we brought this shot through Photomatix and then into Element 7 when we flushed it through Topaz Adjust 4, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner. But I've still got a problem with those ghosting effect of leaves. So the next part of this demo is going to show how I bring back one of the original constituent images, process it with the same settings up to the same point, and then blend it in to get rid of some of that ghosting effect. So let's go back to Photomatix at this stage. And I've already brought back the three individual components of that HDR merged file, and I've got them in this folder 905, 6 and 7, and I'm going to pick that one and I'm going to process it through Photomatix, but I'm going to elect to tone map it because I know the settings I used on the main three, and they were a settings or a preset called Trade Ratcliffe with these details enhancer settings, strength onward, color 47, etc. So I'll OK on that. And I'm going to create it, and I'll put it in, I have them in the my once sets folder, so I'll put them in there and I'll run it. So I'm only acting on file 9005, and we'll let that convert and apply the tone mapping and save it as a JPEG. Now it's quite possible while this is running, just to explain, it's quite possible that those shimmering leaves or reeds or whatever the moving object is, it could be in the example we're going to show a golfer walking, and he's in three different positions in the three different shots, and you have a ghosting effect on the single unified merged file. You may have to process each of these individual .nef files and blend to see which is the best to blend in. In this case I've had an earlier look and I think 9005 is probably a better one. So I'm running it through Photomatix with the same settings as I used for the group of three. That's finished now. So we'll go back to the Photoshop's organizer. That's where I had my original three raw files, and it ought to have put the JPEG in there, so I'll refresh it, and there's 9005.jpg. So what we've got here is 9005.jpg in the my one sets, and back in my work in progress, of course, I have the tone mapped image currently locked because it's open in my editor. So I'll go back to the place where I have the single one, 9005.jpg, and I will open it in the editor. In Windows I do Control I, and there is it. So I've actually got two files open in the editor. There's the tone map one and the single image. So we're on the single image at the minute. Now in the same way as I've put this single image through Photomatix with the same settings, I'm also going to put it through Topaz Labs, Topaz Adjust 4, and I'm going to use the same settings as I used before. When it opens up fully, it's loading the thumbnails, and it was this mild color pop with a sharpening effect of 2.73, and I must also apply the same noise reduction settings. So I'm going to use that algorithm. I'm going to, as I did before, scale it up to 100%, and I think I used 1.98. It's important to have everything the same. so that the blending can look seamless. There we go, fit that down and OK on this. So it'll process that with those settings, and as it's processing it, it's going to bring it back into Photoshop Element 7. But you can see on the left hand side that that ghosted leaf wasn't there in this image, so we'll get rid of it from the tone mapped file in a moment. And the ones on the right hand side are considerably better as well. Okay, so here we are with a single image back in the PSE 7 interface. And now the real magic starts. How do I do the blending? Well, first thing I'm going to do is go back to my tone mapped image. These were handheld and then merged. They weren't on a tripod. So when we bring in the single image in a moment, we'll just need to make sure that it's overlaying properly before we remove those ghosting effects. So the first thing I do will be, from my background, create a second copy of it, Control J in a Windows interface. It's there as now as layer 1. So this is my tone mapped JPEG image. I'll go back to the single JPEG that we brought back through Topaz. I'll save it for the sake of making sure that the disk has exactly what we've put through Topaz Adjust. Okay, now I'll do a select all, edit select all, or rather select all, Control A in Windows, and edit copy or Control C in Windows. And now I'll come back to the tone mapped file, and I will do edit paste or Control V. Now, I don't know whether you saw it, but as I was going through there, the kind of position of the building changed slightly. And I'll show you how to move them into position correctly. The first thing I do is move the single image which has been brought in, paste it in. It's layer 2. I move it below layer 1. Right, so the merge one is on top now in layer 1. And I'll change the opacity on that down to something like about 40. And you can see on the screen the alignment problem between the single image and the tree merged image.